Thank you for coming to the Student League for Black Culture's first COP event for Black Awareness Month. Marquetta Goodwine, also known as Queen Quet, is a native from St. Helena Island, South Carolina. She is a published author, computer scientist, lecturer, mathematician, historian, columnist, preservationist, film consultant, and the activist. Whoa. Queen Quet was, and the artivist. Queen Quet was one of the first 7 inductees into the Geechee Nation Hall of Fame. She has received the Anointed Spirit Award for her leadership and visionary. In 2008, she was recorded at UNESCO headquarters in Paris, France, at the United Nations Conference in order to have the human rights history of Gullah Geechee people archived for the United Nations. She is a directed member for IRAM and for the International Commission on Human Rights. These are just a few of her many accomplishments. Queen Quet has won countless awards for being a woman of distinction, for her scholarship, her artistic presentations, writings, activism, cultural continuation, and environmental preservation. She received the Preserving Our Places in the History Lifetime Achievement Award from South Carolina African American Heritage Commission. She was elected, and installed by her people to be the first Queen Mother, head Pandibodi, and official spokesperson for Gullah Geechee Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, SOBC presents Queen Quet, Chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation and Head of State.
I've been in this your storm so long. Oh, this your heart needed time. Oh, this your heart needed time. Crying, Lord, Lord, give we more time for pride. I've been in this your storm so long. Down here, 100 years ago now. Yeah, they say people are cracking teeth and call all of this shit Carolina, Red Horse, America, or back a young, Red Man. They'll call this shit chicken and things like that. And down where we live, then all these islands and things. They'll call it sea island and things like that. But you know one thing, people are changing plenty of things. Just like when they thief wheat from Gullah, they know. Then they call Gullah and Geechee, or back a young. Even the evil, Mandinka, Malinke, Uliba, Gullah, Geechee, Mendi, Temi, Ifi, Ibibio, all around the rest of the country will come from Gullah. I see, when they get there, and they walk on the camp, then I ask them, who is it? Why do that thing? And things like that. You see. So plenty of time, 100 children are coming around now and come down yonder the way we did it. 100 yet about call it going to get you Nayshun now. Plenty of time, the children are cracking teeth with we talk out. And still not actually. Who we do? Who we do that thing for? None of the thing like that. But they go on back and say, we not did it. You see what kind of cracking children say this young y'all and say and did it. What kind of thing this show? But see, that will happen. Why the rest of people not be part of who hundred and things like that. Won't be a madaba, but now won't understand. You see, but understand, greatest thing God to give you, you understand. And we know, so God though, how we throw one that honor, that may mean for evil, God mean for good. So even the day when we did it, people are coming in, but see we with this young Carolina gold, a red of us, and things we go from the illegal, or with this young, what? Then we call see how it cut. And when they don't see this shit, get in that shit. They end up did it. But see, we understand why plenty of time when our children are crying down yonder now, when they're on that thing, when Jacksonville, Florida, the Jacksonville, North Carolina, anything like that. And when to see the people, you say, you ain't fussing no woman to see. Because plenty of time when you get there, people talk to you like this. And as a result of many Gullah Geechees talking to people this way today, because others didn't understand our language,
But then, instead of realizing they didn't understand it because it wasn't English, it was its own separate language, they instead would say, you should stop speaking that way. You shouldn't speak your own mother tongue. You should get rid of it. The same way, as I said to you in Gullah, but some of y'all looked really puzzled and perplexed, that they never asked us who we are. Why do we do what we do? How do we do it? They never stopped to think about the fact that the Africans that were brought over were not even all Gullah Geechee as we're called today, but we were Igbo, Mandinka, Malinke, Yoruba, Gullah, Geechee, Mendi, Temni, Ifi, Ibibio, and so on, that occupy from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida today, on islands that you read about called the Sea Islands, and 30 to 35 miles inland onto the mainland that you often read about, and it's called the Low Country. All of that is now the Gullah Geechee Nation. But 100 children want to know that thing like I asked. And you have no idea about any of that unless you talk to some of us, right? Ah, you got me that time. I was about to say, ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás? Okay. So one of the things that has happened over the years of our ancestors being kidnapped, as I mentioned, I'm going to help you all out since you know you didn't get the translation earlier. When they were kidnapped from the motherland that we were taught to call Africa today, that was once called Gullah, folks never stopped to ask us about anything. Instead, all people still come to the islands to look for is for us to work in this. What's this? Rice. Carolina gold. Rice. All right? Or, as I mentioned earlier, what's this color here? Indigo. Or, what's this?
Cotton.
Sea Island cotton, to be exact. And Sea Island cotton is very different than inland grown cotton, or as we say, deep south cotton. They have a shorter grain there, wherein this is essentially a hybrid or a kinsman, one might call it, to Kemetic or Egyptian cotton. And so the cotton is very thin and fine grained and long grained cotton. And so today, many people come to the Gullah Geechee Nation looking for us still to be working in one of these three things, is what I mentioned earlier. And if they don't see it, they go back and say, we're not there. And we stand there and go, what kind of people are these that can see you and don't see you at the same time? How could you not say we're there when you have almost 1 million of us still living in the Gullah Geechee Nation? And that doesn't even count those of us who live elsewhere in the world at this point in our story. And so it's of vital importance to us at all times that people get understanding. And that's one of my favorite proverbs in all the literature I ever read, that wisdom is the principal thing. So get wisdom, but in all thy getting, get understanding. So we will make sure when our children understand me to see anything like that, so when we crack the teeth like this, I can help y'all talk all of it. So I need to speak more like this to help y'all, right? Y'all won't understand otherwise. I saw him hold his head like he was going to have a headache and all of that. I don't think he thought I saw it, but I said it. But see, one of the things that happens is that when people gather together, instead of taking the time out to try to understand each other, more often than not, people try to what? Change one another. Is this yours? Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody has their own way of doing things, right? Is that your way? Have you learned that? Okay. So more often than not, instead of us just accepting, okay, this person has their way, I have mine, let's try to have a meeting of the minds, let's find somewhere midway. No. We feel common sense came into the world the day we were born, so you do it my way, right? And there's a lot of trouble over that in the world because people figure their way is the only way to do it. So when many people, especially people of European ancestry, who were Anglo people, arrived on the Sea Islands, whether they were coming during something that's very interesting about this year. First, let's start with this month. Why is this month significant at all? It's Black History Month, or African Heritage Month, so you got that one right, all right? Who started Black History Month over here?
Carter Woodson.
Someone said it.
Carter Woodson.
Who is it?
Carter Woodson.
Carter G. Woodson. That's right. Y'all other turn, I ain't see nobody taking notes. I hope y'all got your cell phone recording the answers. So you can Google this later. Yeah. Carter G. Woodson started Negro History Week, and then it later evolved into Negro History Month, and then into Black History, African Heritage Month. Is how we celebrate it now. I promise you, March 1st, I'll still be a black person. So let's not cut it off there. All right. But now let's expand to this year. We are in what state?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Come on and raise up. Oh, all right. So South Carolina. Now, the Gullah Geechee Nation has a major component of it in South Carolina. But we're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. But what is so significant, and why do I point out South Carolina especially for this year? What is being commemorated?
Civil War.
The what of the Civil War?
150th year.
Right, the sesquicentennial. We are, you know, in an institution of higher learning, so we just really exactly what it is, yes. Thank you very much. I agree with your facial expression. So yes, the sesquicentennial of the United States Civil War is being commemorated this whole year. So why do I say, why is South Carolina important? Why is the Gullah Geechee Nation important to that?
We were the
First to secede.
Thank you. South Carolina seceded from the Union. First shots fired by folks from the Citadel. Right? Anybody visited Fort Sumter before?
Yeah.
Yes, all right. So, I know y'all was like, yeah, we had to go. It ain't like we was going to roll up in there on our own. They told us it was a boat ride. You know, we know what happened the first time we went on a boat ride. No. But, definitely. So, I saw their looks like, oh, we went. So, yes, definitely it's significant for South Carolina to realize what is being commemorated all over the United States this year, but especially in parts of the South, is the Civil War's beginning. And many people intend to go on with this for the next 4 to 5 years, because then it would commemorate the what? The ending. All right? And I was in a meeting recently, and they said, yes, we're going to go ahead and finish our museum by 2015 because the war would have ended then. I said, you're right, because the South Carolina Civil War ain't over, is it? And they all laughed.